I grew up at Franklin River, just up the road. I went to primary school at Franklin, and in fact my father was a Shire president of Cranbrook back in the 90s, so I used to come down here a lot as a youth. However, for the last 27 years, I have been almost continually based in Northeast Asia and in China in particular. And for the last 17 years, I've been non-stop involved in Australia-China agriculture. I speak Chinese. My undergraduate degree majored in Mandarin Chinese. My wife's Japanese. I speak Japanese. And I've been known to have enough Korean language to swear at the taxi drivers in Seoul when needed. And during that last 17 years, I've worked for 3 big Australian agricultural companies in Asia. First with Elders. I set up all Elders business in China from nothing, and Korea, and Japan, and Vietnam. And for punishment, they sent me to India for 6 months to open an office there and then close it. And then for extra punishment, I was sent to Adelaide for 6 months, but I managed to escape from there as well. But for the last 7 years, it's been, then I took up the role of running Nufarm's agricultural chemical operations in China. And then until the end of last year for Andrew Forrest, setting up his agricultural business in China, and the backbone of that was Harvey Beef. For the last few months, I've come to my senses and stepped out of the corporate world and set up my own operation based in Beijing, and that is purely focused on West Australian agricultural products into Northeast Asia, and by that I mean China, Japan and Korea. And just as importantly, it has been made very clear to me by people I know in that part of the world that they do have an interest in strategic investments into Western Australian agriculture production and processing. So that's what I'm focused on now, and in those last few months I've had the great pleasure to partner up with the AEC group for a short-term project, the Premium Beef Project. The Premium Beef Project came out of the Coriolis report at the end of 2016, which has been mentioned earlier today. It's about 360 pages of bedtime reading, which you can go to the DPIRD website and download, and I have actually read most of it, but I certainly read the sections on beef and other agricultural products that are of most interest to me in Northeast Asia. Coming out of that report, they identified 20 agricultural products of high priority, West Australian food and beverage products of high priority, and there they are, and again you can download the whole 360 pages and go through it later if you like. But 3 of those were beef, West Australian beef products. One was organic or biodynamic beef, the second was Wagyu, and the third was meat snacks. And by meat snacks, the most common one people think of, or what common one that's been identified is beef jerky and biltong. In fact, regarding Wagyu, I had the pleasure this morning to, with Mark's guidance, to go out to Irongate Wagyu at Kalgan and see their operations there, which was most impressive, and I was most grateful for that. And I was particularly grateful to the farm shed dog who got some Kalgan mud on my just ironed white trousers, and it serves me right for a farm boy wearing white trousers out to a farm. This project is jointly developed by DPIRD and the MLA Donor Company, Donor Company being a fully owned subsidiary of MLA. And the Coriolis report came out of that, and AEC was given the role of managing the Premium Beef Project, and a group of us under the guidance of Daniel Marshall, team leader down the back, were again given the task of investigating this project. And we also have Dr. Polly Peter Treffert down the back as well. Rafael Ramirez, a butcher by trade, but a meat technician, a meat specialist, has a lot of experience in West Australia and Asian markets. Trina Anderson, former Deep Herd senior executive and now working independently, and myself. So far, so what have we found out so far? Regarding Wagyu, those three areas, Wagyu, organic and biodynamic beef and beef snacks, for Wagyu, absolutely, there's an opportunity, and I've got a couple of pictures at the end which I'll show you regarding Wagyu in Northeast Asia. But not all Wagyu is equal. Purebred or full-blood Wagyu is very different from an F1, a Brahman or something that's been crossed over up in the Asian country is still called Wagyu. So we've got a real issue of how we brand that Wagyu. It's very capital intensive, and for organic, yes, there's a good opportunity in Western Australia, but production is still very limited. Consistency and scale is a big issue. For meat snacks, yes, it's actually a very popular treat in Northeast Asia, beef snacks. But for Western Australia, again, very niche industry at the moment, and it's mostly your service station and truck stops at the moment. Now, for the next steps, we are going to make we've got some pretty firm ideas and make some strong recommendations to Deep Herd as to what to do next. For example, to consider supporting the industry to capitalise on the opportunities identified. And by the way, during our investigations of this project, we spoke to nearly over 3 dozen businesses and individuals, both in Western Australia and in Northeast Asia. And we need to address some of the issues and challenges that we've uncovered so far. This was, where was it on Monday? Monday in Japan, Osaka. I took some photos on Tuesday morning in Hong Kong. I took some more photos. This is not West Australian, but this is an example of Australian Wagyu at point of sale at a high-end supermarket in Hong Kong on the left-hand side. It's nearly $300 a kilogram at point of sale for Australian chilled Wagyu beef. On the right is actually Japanese Wagyu at a suburban supermarket just outside of Osaka, about $200 a kilogram. Now, this is not indicative of every supermarket most supermarkets in Japan will sell this type of product, but this is at the very high end. This is OBE, organic beef from the East Coast, on the left, at $88 a kilogram for short rib and $52 a kilogram for chuck steak. Holly, what's chuck steak selling for now in wholesale in Western Australia? $8 a kilo. This is organic and it's chilled. It's $52 a kilogram at retail in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, US beef jerky. In the middle, US beef jerky, organic, and on the right was taken in Japan. And I did put my stomach to great stress and tested a lot of these biltong and beef jerky products, and they're excellent. But the prices that they're bringing at point of sale are quite extraordinary. Again, I want to emphasise again that the opportunities for Western Australian agricultural products internationally, and premium beef in particular, are very clear. Now, the old cliche about talk the talk and walk the walk. Well, the talking has been done for years. The opportunities have been extensively researched and identified. I think they are clear, and the Coriolis report is a very good example of that, and that work needed to be done. Now, I'm all about walk the walk. I live and breathe, I live in Asia, I live in Beijing. My 2 young sons were born in Japan. They speak 3 languages, 5 and 8. They speak Japanese and Chinese and English, and hopefully they'll experience some of the lifestyle of West Australia and be just as interested as I am in developing the business here. But it's now time for walk the walk. So that's what I'm all about, is executing those agricultural opportunities, and particularly those beef opportunities, on the ground in Asia. And if we get our act together, then we really can make a success of this. Thank you.